My crafty friends, it's Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm here to do a flip through of this school themed type journal, and it's a binder journal. So I've been this is I think the 5th video. So I did as much as I could on video, and then I went ahead and finished it up. I was going to try to do more on video, but it just didn't work out that way. I felt like I was repeating myself too much. And it's pretty self-explanatory too. And so as you see the flip through, if you have any questions, let me know. But I think it's, whatever I did is pretty self-explanatory, so it doesn't really need a separate video. So, yeah, here's the front. We've got fabric on the spine. It was a binder already, and then I just turned this binder into, a journal by adding, fabric, trim, these pieces here on the front cover. Here's the back. This is what it was, this denim look fabric, and then I added this. And here is the tassel. It is removable. It's just a little bull pin, hanging on a little bull pin, which is hanging on a binder clip. And then, so we've got 4 strands of different goodies. We've got a little rainbow here, and then wooden beads, vintage buttons. There's a little girl charm right there, and then more beads here, and that's the rainbow strand, and a vintage button down here. You can see there's a little happy face bead there. And then the next strand, we've got a little what is that? I knew what it was when I put it on here. Now I can't think of what it is. I can't picture what it is. It's in a weird position, I think, so I can't. But it's a little bead right there, a vintage button, and a wooden block right there. And then I try to put a vintage button on each strand. And then on this one, oh, there is a key at the top of this one, vintage key. Since this is a school theme, I try to keep like school theme things in mind as I was making it, and this seemed like it could be a key to a locker. If you ever had I think most of my lockers the locks always had combinations, but anyway, I guess at one point there could have been a key to a locker somewhere. So here's the beads on this one, and this is a little, is that the same as that other charm? It's a little cat on this one. Maybe that's a bear over there, I'm not sure, but it's some kind of animal, I think. And then here's a little, this is actually a game piece here, like a dice to a game, but it's just kind of a random one that I had hanging out in my stash. I don't have the game or anything, but there you go. Here's 2 beads, one on either side of that. These wooden beads here. So anyway, I like the button and the wooden bead combination because it has a nice kind of sound, almost like a wind chime if you kind of let them do their thing. So we'll put that to the side for a second, and then I've got a goodie pack here too, so let's do our flip through. As you open up, you can see, well, let me show you the top. I have a few things clipped in, so I've got a couple of decorated or a few decorated paper clips. Here's what it looks like. She got pretty chunky. And instead of trims on this one, I didn't feel like, I just didn't feel like pom-pom trim or any kind of frilly trim would look right in this one. So instead of trims, well, we did together, we did the measuring tape trims, and then I put a lot of fabric tabs on, so you can see them kind of peeking out here and there. Here's one, and I put quite a few in here, so you kind of see them peeking out here and there. So a lot of fun little fabric tabs, and those are all sewn on. If you can see, maybe you can see them down in there. So let's get back to our flip through. So as you open up, I put a library card pocket on the inside of the front cover and the back cover with a library card in one of the pieces of ephemera. So here's a red library card, and we decorated the pockets together in one of the videos. And then here's a crayon box that was a cut apart in the scrapbook paper I used. There's no digitals in here, just all original things, so papers and whatever is in here, handmade ephemera, things like that. So here's an original, this is like a plastic measuring tape here. The plastic, there's fabric measuring tapes, plastic ones, and probably even canvas ones. I think I had a canvas one once. So, but this is one of those plastic ones. I've gotten them all at thrift stores or estate sales. So this is a double-sided scrapbook paper, as you can see. And we put this here to match the stars in one of the videos, like one of the first couple of videos, I guess. First few videos. And it also, let's see what was I going to say about it. Oh, it's over here on this pocket too. So it really has a nice start here to the, makes a nice start to the journal. Here is a little journaling card here that's clipped on. And the next little page here is, and you can see the binder. This is the binder part of the journal. And this is an acetate page or vellum, whatever you want to call it. And here, I made it into a pocket, and it has one of my school, we did these together too. We I had put and sewn around put some paper, writing paper on the back of these, because I thought they were kind of boring, and plain, so I wanted something on the back of them too, even if they were, maybe, a plain paper, a solid paper, but something nice to write on. So that's why I put this pretty paper on the back here. You can see I did some messy stitching around. We decorated these together with a couple of the school-related stickers from the scrapbook paper. And this is sewn together, this pocket here. There's a little label. That is a vintage Denison label there. And then next page is some vintage ledger. And then I have clipped here just some of my handmade or homemade note paper. So I just took some of the little notebooks I've collected from thrift stores and some of the pages from those and added some fun little stickers on those to use up my stickers, and also to just have some little fun decorated note papers. So I have a few of those clipped right here. And those could be glued down somewhere or written on and put into a pocket or whatever the new owner would like to do. And so let me straighten out that a little bit. Next page is a page from a vintage yearbook. And this is from a dictionary. There's my first little scrappy fabric tab. I made a long one on that one, as you can see, kind of like a trim / tab. Vintage yellow ledger there. We did this flashcard together. We decorated it. And after the video where I decorated this with you, I put a little paper on the back here. It's the same paper that's on that bingo card. I think it was just I had a scrap of it here, and I was like, oh, that's perfect size. It would fit on the back of this flashcard, so I put it there as writing space, so you can have writing space on that flashcard. And then here's a belly band made out of, I always try to use as many of the scraps as I can from the paper that I'm using in the book. So this is a journaling card. We made these together on a video about a month ago, probably now or so. But it's made from a time card, and got some little fabric pieces there on the top. And as we turn, you will see one of the transfer envelopes that I picked up at a thrift store that I showed you in a Thrifty Thursday video recently. And in there, in the envelope, I have, this is a stencil. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll kind of turn it. I mean, I can see it, but it's a number 2 stencil. So the new owner of this journal can punch that out if they want, or whatever they want to do. They could actually punch holes and make it into a page, and this too. This large playing card. So those are in there. These are things for her to craft with. Right in there. Vintage ledger. This is a piano music page, and there's our next tab there sewn on. I added this little school bus sticker, but all the other pictures you see on here and things were on the piano book paper. And that pretty yellow ledger. This is shorthand from a shorthand book page. Another tab. And this is from what was this from? This is from a children's dictionary, this page here. And I put this map paper on the back. It's got green rickrack and a little sticker there. And you can see that is Children's Encyclopedia. And this is a bookmark and another little tag that I had in my stash. I thought it would be fun in here. This is another type of grid paper or graph paper where I used a vocabulary card as a tab, and it folds out. It's pretty yellow graph paper. Another piece of a page of the yearbook, vintage yearbook, and this is the band. Here, a picture of the band, and then some more student pictures. The juniors, some of the juniors. This is a page from an index page from an atlas. I've added a little globe there, and another different ledger that I have. I picked up several different ledgers recently at an estate sale. If you didn't see that, in case you didn't see that Thirsty Thursday, I had shown several different ledgers I picked up at an estate sale recently, and that's another one of them with the tab on it, fabric tab. Piano paper there, and on the back here we made this together on the last video, working on this before today, and it is a flashcard pocket. I don't know if I did this on video or not actually, but I might have put this on here. I might have done it after the video because I kept on working on the journal after the video. That's what happened, and that's how it got finished. But a couple little stickers, and this was a scrap from the scrapbook paper, and in here I have a tag that you can write on the back there, and a pretty vintage postcard. So those are in there, and this is in a nice thick nice paper from an end page from a book. Another children's dictionary page with a tab. Ledger paper here, some pretty scrapbook paper here, the school related scrapbook paper that I used in here. This is a page from some notebooks. I used some different papers from notebooks in here, little, lined paper and things like that, just for writing paper. This one, if you saw the video before this one, there was a page where I got glue on it and I was trying to get it off. This was that page, and I ended up just cutting off the top of it because it just, I tried to wipe it off with a wet wipe, and it just got messed up on the top, so I just cut it off, and here you go. This is what you can do. Just cut off the top and put it in your journal as a smaller page, or use it as a writing paper or something. But that's that paper. Here is a page from a typing book. I thought this guy was so cool, sitting here at his typewriter learning how to type, so I put that in there. Vintage typing book, of course. Some more note paper with pretty green lines. This is another paper we did. We put this little flashcard tab here on there on the video. It's a yearbook page with a flip out. We added this tab, and then after the video I added a little pocket here out of a scrap, and a couple of, this is an extra vocabulary card in there to craft with, and a tag right there. So fun stuff. Lots of fun pages in here. And this is another pocket. I sewed this flashcard. Oh, this is a time flashcard. So I sewed that on there as a tuck spot. In here I have a bingo card, journaling card, and a fabric sample journaling card, or flip up there. So a couple of fun pieces. This is wallpaper here. I love the color of this, and it's a nice big flip out. It kind of flips and flips, so it's kind of this isn't so long, I had to make a double flip, and I added this flashcard on there as kind of a tab and a decoration. And then this is from an atlas, the index page, and here's, I think we added this together, this little alphabet strip there. And on this side is a bunch of note paper. So I was using those note papers, the craft color note papers, as my my templates for the punching the holes. And I took all of those papers as I punched the holes, I kind of messed up the holes. You know what I mean? They got punched, not exactly right, so the holes were kind of punched a little bit too much. And so what I ended up doing was cutting off the holes. So here's all the papers, and this is the extra piece of that wallpaper that I just showed you. This was an extra piece of it. So I just stapled them down here, and I was going to cover the staples, but I decided to leave them exposed in case the person that gets this wants to remove these. So the person that gets this can cover those up if they want. They could put a little thing over the top, a little scrap over the top of here, and make it look nice, like a like a notepad. Or just put a piece over here, or if they want to, they can easily remove these staples. There's actually 2 under here too, so there's 4 staples, but They're just little, tiny attacher staples, so they can easily remove those and then use all these papers separately if they want to, or leave them in here and use them. But anyway, I put the wallpaper on here as a cover, and then there's like I think there were three of these craft colored papers there, so it's like a little notepad there. This is from a math book, and I have attached one of my tags with several pieces on here, so you can see there's a little license tag, airplane, and a ticket in this little piece right here. And there's also a tab, a fabric tab on that page with a decorated paper clip. And this is an address book page, vintage address book. This is actually a typing page from the typing book, I believe, and I added a scrap of scrapbook paper on there. So it's just kind of like a Franken page, fun Franken page. This is a large bridge score sheet. I love using these as pages. And so you can write on here, glue on here, whatever you want to do. And I added a little scrap there as a decoration, or kind of almost like a tab. Here, I didn't show you this from the outside when I was showing you the outside of the journal, but there's a little key tag here with a pretty, it looks like a zinnia on it, flower. And that is just clipped right there on that dictionary page. Some pretty note paper, music paper here with a fabric tab. Some map paper from the atlas, that same atlas that the index pages came from, and that is a fold out. And we used a vintage flashcard here as a tab on that page. Ledger, this is scrapbook paper. It looks like a dictionary, like a children's dictionary, but it's actually scrapbook paper, and I have a tab on there sewn on. And this is from a children's dictionary right here. And on this side, I have a little flip up writing space, and I decorated that a little bit with, was a scrap of scrapbook paper, and it was a nice size, so I put it here. And just use a few of the stickers from the scrapbook paper on there. Lined note paper. This is another typewriter book page. I liked this one because it had all these cool old typewriters on there. And this is a little piece of ephemera I just put on there. You can write on it if you would like, or whatever you want to do with this page, but is on there as a tab. Page from the math book. Here, vintage math book. And on this side I added, this was a scrap too, and I made it into a little pocket. So here in the pocket I have a postcard. I thought, in school, like I said, I was trying to keep the school theme in mind here. So you might have learned about different cities and countries in school. I mean, hopefully you did, right? And then here is a little flashcard too with a boat. These are so cute and pretty, so I put that in there. And then, so it's a pocket, and then it opens like this. You can write in here or all over here. And I put the little sticker there that says school. Note paper here. And it's pretty green lines. And some of the atlas pages with the index. This is a atlas page with the map. And there's a little tab there that was a piece of ephemera with the scrapbook paper. Lined note paper. This is a piano book page, and I put one of the time clocks there, time flashcard. And here's a little file folder that you can use, and one of my post-it, what I'm calling a post-it. And you can do whatever you would like to do with that. Use it for writing, use it for whatever you would like. And then, I don't know if I've pointed out all of the measuring tape, but there is one here on this page. This one's the washi tape, and then shorthand page with a tab. This one I used a larger piece of fabric on, note paper, and then this is the last page, which is scrapbook paper. And here's another piece of this was a sticker. So there's several different types of measuring tape that I used in here, and this was a sticker that was with the scrapbook paper. So it was fun using all those different measuring tapes in here. And that was, kind of ruler theme. That was kind of, I just thought that would be a ruler theme throughout. It's a school-related book. Schools, you have a ruler at school. You always have a ruler, right? And so here's the last two little pieces of ephemera in the journal. A little fox flashcard, and you can write on here. There's lines there on the front and back. And this is kind of feels like it's, I mean, it feels like it's kind of like laminated, so you could use a dry erase, like treat it like a dry erase card if you wanted to, and then a blue library card to decorate there as somebody wishes. And I wanted to add one of my fabric bookmarks in here, so I'm just going to stick that right in there as an extra piece of ephemera. Just was going through things and I found that as I was finishing these up. I thought, oh, I don't know, this journal is already spoken for, so I was like, I don't know if I ever, you know, if she's bought journals from me before, and I didn't know if, I couldn't remember if there was ever one of my fabric bookmarks in any of the journals she bought, so I wanted to include one, you know, just in case, make sure she has one of those. And she has mentioned colors that she likes, so I tried to include one that was the colors that she's mentioned before. So we'll put this back on here, and it just can clip right there, and you're good to go. So that came out really cute. I wasn't planning on like making a school themed journal, but it just happened. So sometimes that's how it is when you're creating, things just happen. And oh, these strings are nice and long too, by the way. If the person that gets this wants to add things, or if you want to cut those off or anything like that, that is up for their, you know, decisions. So yeah, in the goodies, I of course when I was cleaning up included some things, but like I said, I use a lot of the scraps in the journal. I still have my of course it'll be all during April that I have my allergies. So if you sound like I'm dealing with my nose, I am kind of keep from sniffling too much. But let's see. So I included some of these phone message papers, which are fun too. You could glue these down as writing spots or make them into tags and journaling cards, stuff like that. And then a couple of pieces of, these are very vintage, probably from the 70s, or even, I don't know, it could even be from the late 60s, but I'm going to say probably from the 70s. Monopoly money, some tickets. Well, look in here, the little coin envelope at the end. A couple of tags that can be decorated. This is a chalkboard tag, or what is called a chalkboard tag. It's really, seems like it's just black cardstock, but that's what it was called in the package when I bought it. I didn't make it myself. A guest check, and I included a little package of, not, you know, big package or anything, just a few extra dictionary pages in here. So, because I have so many, I thought this person would enjoy them possibly, hopefully. But here's some tiny ones, because I mentioned in a previous video, I have every size dictionary probably that you can imagine. From the very small, like these here, these pages here. And I didn't include any really big ones because this is not a big journal. It's kind of a on the small side, but not, you know, I would say maybe medium size, I guess, really. So it's not large and it's not small. So I just included pages that would fit in here, fitting pretty much. I have a little dictionary like this. So this is a little, kind of almost like a little signature from that one. I didn't, pages are still together. But aren't they cute? A little long, narrow dictionary. I thought that was so cute. And then this is another dictionary here, and I just these pages were attached, so I just included all of these. And this is pretty cool, actually. So there's some index pages here, and then there's this page that says notes on it. And then yeah, it says notes on both sides, and then here's a blank like end page, so that's some thicker paper, so that's nice. And then here's a bigger, this is the biggest. Oh, I see there's a few more, but this is the largest dictionary page I included. I just folded it in half so I could fit it into this group of goodies. And then here's another kind of signature type group of pages that were stuck together, so I just left them together and included them. So she can have some. And they're all different shades of the, you know, aging here, so naturally aged. Okay, and then I included an extra piece of that crayon fabric, so she can make more tabs or whatever she wants with that. There's some scraps. There's quite a few scraps in here, so you can see scrap of papers, A couple of these with the stars and the pencils. I guess there was quite a few scraps left, wasn't there? And this is a good sized piece of that. Really, this is really, if you see this, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a really cool, like, shaded piece of wallpaper. I can only imagine what that looks like that would look like on a whole wall. It probably look like, you know, like almost like plaster or something. You know what I mean? Can you see how it would look like? Or maybe I don't know if it would look like sponge painting. Probably not, because it's not dabby enough. But if you've ever seen a plaster wall with shading, like in a Spanish style house, that's what it would look like to me. And more little scraps. And I don't know if there's any more scraps in here, but we'll see what else is in here. So this is a piece of ephemera. I thought this was like one of the coolest pieces of ephemera from this cut aparts in the scrapbook paper. So I included it. Table of addition. Here's what it looks like on the back. But I really thought this was cool, so she can make that into a drawing card or a page even. Put some holes in it and make it a page. And this is a little freebie thank you gift that I'm including until they're gone. So she gets this one with her journal this time. And she ordered a journal from me previously, since I started giving these, you know, as a thank yous. And I don't remember if I don't think I remembered to put an envelope in the last one. Oh, I didn't mean to include 3, I don't think. Because I think I just sent her one of these, and I didn't include the envelope. So I included 2 envelopes with this one. So they're vintage, you know, naturally aged, long, narrow envelopes. So those could be fun to use however she wishes. And then here's another scrap. This one was a nice school house picture, so I thought she might enjoy that. And then these are some cut-offs from the children's dictionary pages and the dictionary pages. So I included all of those. Those could be nice pockets or journal cards. And I included an extra piece of this. I had started to use this one. See how the holes get off as you punch them, and then you kind of like punch outside the hole, and it gets worse and worse. And so after I started doing this one didn't get too bad, but after I started using this one, I thought this is just gonna keep going and going, and I'm just gonna be ruining all these pages. So I made myself the one out of a file folder, you know, like a manila file folder type paper, and so it would be a little sturdier. And then I included this is a couple of pages from my scrapbook calendar from 2006. Not quite vintage, but almost. And got lots of writing room on the back if you wanted to write on these, but you can use these however you wish. Even put them in as a page. They would be a good page size too. So those are included. I just ran across that while I was cleaning up as far as putting things away. And I thought, oh, there's my scrapbook calendar. Let me put some of those in there. And I've been including a little coin envelope with some goodies. So, but in this one I tried to include different goodies than I have in the last couple of journals. So, you know how I like to cycle through things. So I've got a couple of labels, these blue and white labels. This is actually a kind of a piece of ephemera, but it's a label also in this one too. And there's a couple of bird pieces in here, papers. And this is a couple, you know, those little books of papers you can get. I think I got some from Temu, and I don't know if I got one from your creative studio, but I might have. I probably did. And anyway, I included a few of those little papers, and this is a little tag that was in with that kind of ephemera that I have. So those are all in there, just some fun things to craft with. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed the making of the school journal. And if you have any questions, like I said, the last little bit there where I decorated with, you know, added some pockets and added the fabric tabs and things. I think that, like I said, that's pretty self-explanatory. So it wasn't like I needed to do a video on that. And I added I've done a lot of videos where I make the beaded tassel. So, you know, let me know if you have any questions on that. And other people have, of course, done beaded tassel. So I think there's a lot of beaded tassel videos out there. But if you have any questions, let me know. So thank you for watching today, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.